I'm really interested in ecological questions, and I like that those questions drive my research. So I wanted to be in this gut physio lab because I wanted to have a perspective of ecology and answer those questions in a different study organism.
I think broadly, I'm interested in like physiology or comparative physiology. The specific field that I'm interested in is like comparative biomechanics. And ultimately, like what physiology means is just like the study or like understanding of how organisms and animals really like work. And my specific interests are in like how we move, like how animals move, how humans move, how we control that, and like what coordination goes into like our actual motion.
In general, I've always really had a thing for fish. I really like diversity and really weird fish, like how, I guess like fish are so successful and there's so many of them that there's so many different ways that they're successful and they do weird things. So I'm really interested in kind of the wonky ones that do kind of unusual or surprising things.
So I do insect biomechanics, which is sort of like how do the properties of what makes a cricket interact with like physics that interact with the environment, and how does that all fit together?
I was always a big fan of comparative biology. Like thinking of as a kid, like one of the biggest questions I had in my brain is like, why are there dogs and wolves? Like what, like why are there's these two animals that look eerily similar to each other, but they're not the same thing. So growing up I was like, this is kind of strange, and I want to figure out why this is the case.
I'm generally interested in animal biomechanics. Mostly I focus on like the underlying muscle physiology that allows for animals to move. And then, so that's like one area that I'm interested in, but then there's another area where I'm kind of interested in how evolution kind of drives these different changes in the ability of animals to move through different environments.
I'm interested in the movement of animals that don't have brains. So currently I'm studying sea stars and their tube feet and how they're able to coordinate hundreds of tube feet without a brain.
So I don't necessarily know exactly what science field I'm in. I'm in the Ecology and Evolutionary Biology program, but my lab is a nutritional physiology lab. But I'm more focused on the physiology side of it, specifically the microbiome side of it. But physiology, I guess, in a nutshell, is what I'm doing with marine invertebrates.
I'm interested in animal locomotion. I like to study how animals move. Most animals move, at least vertebrate animals move using skeletal muscles, so that's kind of how I'm interested in how animals move. I like seeing which muscles they use to do that.
I'm interested in how animals are affected by their diet and environment by looking at their physiology, genetics, and their gut microbiome.